Zoddy Imoisili. Full name is Zoddy Imoisili. I am of Nigerian origin, and Zoddy is my nickname in which I've always gone by. But I'm so excited to be here and to have a takeover for MBAchic today. So a little bit more about me. I am from the DMV area, really repping DC, Maryland, Baltimore region area. Though my parents are immigrants, I was born and raised in Maryland, been there my whole life. The University of Maryland, and after that had another master's degree from George Washington University in Strategic Public Relations and Global PR. And now I am at the Wharton School getting my MBA. I'm a first-year MBA at the Wharton School, focusing on a major of strategic management, and I think I'm going to couple it with a double major in organizational effectiveness. Before Wharton, I was at PepsiCo in different capacities. I was there for 6 years. For the first 3 years, I was in sales and operations as a frontline manager out of the Columbia, Maryland office, out of kind of overlooking the Baltimore, DC, Wash area. Did that for 3 years, had several positions, and then used my other master's degree and internal connections to transition to PepsiCo, from Pepsi Beverages to the parent company of PepsiCo, and worked in the public policy and government affairs office for the past 3 years, from 2018 to 2021, where I was a North America coordinator as well as a communications and engagement analyst. Being a first year class of 2023 MBA at the Wharton School has been a dream come true, honestly, for me. The Wharton community is so verbose and so full of adventure, and I've really enjoyed my experience. I've jumped into leadership, being VP of Operations for the Wharton Africa Business Forum Conference, being VP of Diversity for Cluster 1, Go Lions, and also just being a member at large for other organizations such as the Wharton Women in Business, AMBA, which is the African American MBA Association, and other groups kind of through affinity, through professional clubs, and through some of my own interests. And it's been a really fulfilling experience just to get to know as many Whartonites as I can and tapping into all that I can. So as I finished my first semester and kind of looking back, I can definitely say first semester is where I kind of dabbled with finding myself, being able to tap into all these new resources, meet all these new people. I was really interested in just getting to know as many people as possible, and having leadership positions, and tapping into really what I wanted to come to Wharton for and what my MBA was for. And after I've kind of, gotten to know people, understood like my cohort and safe spaces and things like that, second semester is where I really am delving into who I am as a person, not necessarily externally, but more so internally. I'm finishing up my core, really trying to focus on, okay, once I'm done with this, what does my internship look like? What do my classes next semester look like? And what does the rest of my Wharton experience look like? The fact that I am a full-time 2-year MBA, time is short and definitely valuable. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to explore all the things that speak to me as a person and me as a professional and executive in the future. And I'm very excited to delve into that specifically within the Wharton community. As Vice President of Diversity for my cluster, I am really focused on making sure that there are spaces within the classroom and outside where people can discuss different diversity topics, whether it's gender, race, socioeconomic background, country of origin, whatever it may be, just essentially making sure that there is a consciousness of what diversity, equity, inclusion means within our academic setting, as well as within the workplace as we continued forward within our professional careers. I'm really focused on making sure that everyone is cognizant of these things, and so as we become the leaders of business for tomorrow, that we are putting this at the core of who we are and how we really move forward with our business objectives, and to make sure that we are doing all of our best to make that social impact in our future and present work. I am VP of Diversity. I also served as WABUF, or the Wharton Africa Business Forum, which is a conference. I was the VP of Operations, and I assisted with marketing as well for first semester, really first quarter in Wharton, and really just jumping into my experience and diving into how I could give back. WABUF was one of the things that I went to in 2019, just to really understand more of the culture of Wharton and go to the African Business Conference as a child of immigrants myself from Nigeria, and really understanding the future of Africa. And so being able to come full circle and play my part in getting this hybrid experience, partially online, partially in person, for the WABUF conference, it was extremely fulfilling for my first semester. WABUF was a really great learning experience because I was able to experience it in person in 2019, coming back in 2021 and bringing it back from a year of hiatus. I was really focused on getting that experience back. As VP of Operations, I was very focused on the hybrid model of making sure that our online as well as in-person participants felt the full impact of the WABUF conference. And so those who might have seen me around on campus or even virtually would say that I was very focused on my objective and getting things done. But looking back, it was extremely fun, a very fulfilling experience, and something that I will cherish for time to come. WABUF was extremely special to the Wharton community because it was one of the essentially one of the first cross-school hybrid models that we actually invited other students and prospective students and alumni back to campus after the hiatus of 2020. And so being able to pull that off was a great achievement for me and the team that I worked with, and being the only VP of Operations that was a female, really making sure that I pushed as much as I could in regards to making the most of each attendee's experience and allowing them to have a full in-person and online hybrid conference. Being able to do that was extremely rewarding because I was able to get positive feedback from the other people on the team for the WABUF team who was putting it together, but also students from other MBA programs, prospective students as well, and saying that it was such a great conference to come back to and be reintroduced to the Wharton community, being on campus and even virtually, and allowing people to really feel like they're reintegrated into the MBA experience. My journey to my MBA was definitely a long, hard-fought one. I believe the first time I took a GMAT was when I was still a senior in college, and I knew that I wanted to get an MBA, but I was not preparing at that time. And after I had graduated, I went through a series of classes through Sherpa Prep, through Kaplan, through Princeton Review, to both study the GMAT and the GRE. One tip that I wish I had known before was really just to focus on specifically the GRE, and that was the test for me. I had tried to conquer the GMAT, but I had never gotten there, and so being able to take the GRE and be able to show my skill set at that point will allow me to get the best score in January 2021 when I actually was applying to business school, to allow me to get to Wharton and all the other schools that I had gotten acceptance to. I think that would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of emotional effort, and a lot of finances as well. Applying to business school, I was extremely nervous. I did not think that I would get in anywhere. I applied to 10 programs, which was definitely a lot. I had been a fellow of the MLT program as well as Admit Me, Access or Admit Me Fellows. And the fact that I did apply to 10 programs was definitely the maximum amount that I could bear. I really wanted to cast a wide net and make sure that I was able to get into a program. I remember that the first program that I got accepted to was Stern at NYU, which I love Stern, and they're focused on EQ because I believe that's a lot of who I am. And I actually got the call that I got in on my birthday. And it was really honestly the best birthday present. I was just like, I am going to be an MBA woman. And that was extremely exciting for me. And I believe I got into Wharton second to last, and then I got into London Business School because I was considering doing an international MBA at the same time. But Wharton was really my dream school since applying to college, and I knew that's where I wanted to be. And so very happy to call myself a Whartonite and to be a woman of Wharton in the class of 2023, which is 52% women, which is a memorial class and a historic class, which I'm very excited to be part of. Being part of the historic class of 2023, where the majority of the population are women, 52% are women, I'm very proud to represent the impact that we have made in Wharton MBA's history. For me, I'm extremely involved in campus, some where I have leadership positions and others where I'm members. For example, the Wharton Women in Business Club, I am a member at large. At this time, really enjoyed the events, getting to know my WIB family and my sisters there, as well as just seeing all of the conferences that they've had on campus in New York, having swag and things like that. It's really felt like a great community to be a part of. And I'm actually really excited to potentially be involved in WIB next year, potentially planning conferences or being more involved in just during semester events to be able to cultivate those strong bonds with the rest of the Wharton women.
Pretty Girls Cook. Galentine's Night in Philadelphia.
Coming back from winter break, the African American MBA Association, or AMBA, as we call it, hosted the Whitney M. Young Conference, which is an annual conference that we focus on Black business, uplifting Black culture, and really celebrating all that Black business has accomplished. This year was my first year attending in person. I was able to attend virtually last year, but being able to be there in person was something that really impacted me, from the content of what we discussed on panels, listening to the keynote speakers, and specifically the gala at the end, seeing the drum line and things like that, but then also being able to uplift small Black businesses, really had a full picture of what Black business means to me and what it means to our future. And I was extremely happy to be there and witness it in person. And I'm hoping and excited.
Push a P. Yeah, push a P. Turn me up. Turn me up, P. Pointers in the paddock, get my piece. I'm push a P. Cop new helmets for my.
Adjusting to business school life has been very interesting. The fact that I am part of the class of 2023, essentially entering in 2021, and being able to come back in person throughout this COVID experience has been something that I've actually really cherished, and being able to meet my classmates in person, though we definitely are masked, testing bi-weekly to make sure that everyone is still healthy, but being able to be in person has been something that, an experience that I would not want any other way. Looking back, just some things that I wish I had known beforehand, not necessarily COVID-related, but just the amount of expenses when it comes to MBA social life is something that I wish I had planned for better. Specifically at Wharton, we have a lot of black tie events. We definitely like to get dressed up and mix and mingle, but being able to budget for that in advance is something that I wish. This weekend, I am preparing for Black Ski, which is the cross-school black ski and snowboarding trip to Colorado that I believe 17 schools are being a part of, hosted by Tuck. And I'm extremely excited to see friends from programs, from different parts of my MBA journey, and be able to come together to ski together, to be able to brunch together, and just be able to really have fellowship in our Blackness during Black History Month. So that's on the horizon. I will share more media about that soon, but very, very excited to go to Black Ski.
Easy out of here. Easy out of here. Easy out of here.
Spider, 6. Yeah, 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 yeah. The price I want for sure, you can go.